Hi everyone, Brenda Gustin here, and I'm going to go over your course syllabus. Please be aware in your first lab quiz, week 1 lab quiz, there are some questions from the syllabus. So I highly recommend, for that reason and for many more reasons, that you print out the syllabus and put it in your 3-ring notebook. You will refer back to this many times. I back to it several times a week, so it's a really useful document. When you have a question on how any procedures going on in the class or what grades are due when or what's going on, a lot of times you can find that information in the syllabus. So, yeah, so here's my information. Brenda Gustin. Remember, you can call me Brenda or Dr. Gustin, whichever you're most comfortable with. Here's my email, my office, and my phone. And contacting me by email is a great way to get in contact with me. But I'm in my office a lot too. I have actual office hours where I should be in my office, and they're listed right here. But I'm in my office a lot more than that. So if you just pop by or make an appointment to stop by if you want to. I know some of you aren't, campus is not easily accessible to you. So I can also talk to you on the phone. I can talk to you by email. We can set up virtual office hours. I've done that with students, and it's one way that I get to know some people that don't come to campus. So email me, we can set up a time, and I'll send you a link and we can talk on the computer. And it's one way to help your instructors get to know you a little bit. Here's the course description and the learning outcomes. A lot of students use this course for a prerequisite for the principles of anatomy and physiology if you're thinking about going into nursing. It's also a good course to use if you just need a general science elective. And it's basic information that probably everybody should know about the human body. So it's all sorts of good stuff. Your textbook information is listed right here. Our textbook is it's an ebook, and it's a McGraw-Hill book. McGraw-Hill's the publisher, and we're going to get the McGraw-Hill version that comes with Connect. And when you get that, that's the electronic version of the book. You have to use these materials for this course. If you don't, you won't be able to do all the assignments. So we're going to use the Connect version of the book, and the let's see, in addition to the different activities that are in the Connect version of the book, there is an ebook. And you will find, I've had people say, oh, I'm not very good at reading books online. But what you find is the textbook companies are doing a lot better job of formatting the books that they're easier to read online. And I think you'll find that this book is pretty easy to read off of your computer screen. So, there's we're going to do virtual labs from the Connect book and all that. So it talks to you about, I know you've been getting things about First Aid Complete from the bookstore. And if you have any questions about that, I'm glad to talk to you and help you figure out, should I buy this separately or should I buy it through First Aid Complete? But you can get access to the book just by going to the McGraw-Hill link on our Brightspace page. Here's some more information about how to get the book. All there. Just help resources in general. What I would say is, if you're struggling in the class, whether it's with content or just what's going on or how do I do something, the first thing I recommend doing is contacting me. I'm your instructor. I pay attention. I know everything about this course. I like to get to know you. I like to know when people are having trouble, and I'm really glad to help you out. So let me know and contact me, and I can help you out with anything dealing with this course. That being said, some people want to use other resources for help. There's some tutoring in the Learning Commons, and you can go in there. I'm sure they can answer any question related to human biology. But there's also some online tutoring that we have contracted to Corning Community College is contracted with, and so you can see this if it's kind of on an odd time, 7 p.m. till midnight, you can do some online tutoring. So what we're learning in human biology are really normal, basic things about the human body that probably any science tutor should be able to help you with. But that being said, I'm just going to repeat, come to me first. I'm glad to help. Important reminder, remember to log into your school email occasionally, because that's my primary way of being able to talk to you. If you I might have something that changes in the course or something that's going on that I need everyone to know. The only way I can contact the whole class is through email. So please check your email for this and all your courses. And that's your CCC email. Don't use your private email. All my correspondence will go to your CCC email. Our weekly format of class, there is a calendar. I put all the dates on Brightspace, but some folks like to look at the calendar. If you go into your Brightspace course, where you have all the modules listed on the left, all the way at the bottom, you'll see a calendar that kind of updates where you are. I'll show you that at the end of the video. And if you want to use that, it just tells you what's due. But all those due dates are also on your syllabus and on your Brightspace pages. Lecture study guide. So each week you will see on your Brightspace page, there's a lecture study guide, and that's going to be an outline of what you need to accomplish in lecture that week. And I would print these out and put them in your notebook. Now, you might want to do this in a couple different ways. Just use your lecture study guide as is, print it out like I did, and then take another piece of paper and put notes on it. The other thing you can do is you can use the document that I'm posting as your lecture study guide, and you can change the spacing electronically and put spaces there for you to fill in. So I'll show you that when we go back to the Brightspace page. Each lecture, I make at least a couple videos, and when you're filling in these lecture study guides, almost all the information will be in your textbook. Some people like to go right to the textbook and start filling that out. Other people prefer to watch videos. So most of the information for the lecture study guide, like I said, will be in the textbook, but it will also be in the lecture videos. Now, occasionally, I'll give you something that's not in the textbook or is clarified better in the lecture videos. And I really want you to look at the lecture videos. And so I will write that on your lecture study guide. Make sure you go look at the video for this. You'll see the videos posted for each week in Brightspace. Your lecture assignment, each week you'll have what we call a lecture assignment. I shorthand it as LA, lecture assignment, in the grade book. And these are assignments that are created from your textbook. The textbook is something we call a smart book, which means I can highlight parts that I want you to read, and I can use it to make these lecture assignments. The lecture assignments are in a format that's called adaptive learning. So the idea is you complete your lecture study guide and you review that. Then you'll go to Brightspace and you'll see a lecture assignment. You'll click on that lecture assignment. It will bring you to your textbook, and it will give you the option to start looking at questions or start reading the book. And what you can do is, if you've already done the reading, you can go right to the questions, and it's going to ask you questions about all the topics that we covered. And what it will do is, if you don't know the answer, you can go click back into the book and it will bring you to the section where you can read about that. So, and then what it does is, the adaptive learning portion means if you do get an answer correct, you move on to the next topic. If you get it incorrect, it will bring up questions again on that same topic. So it's going to ask you kind of similar things again and again. So it gives you a chance to kind of catch up. The lecture assignments are has the points in the syllabus, and you'll get 100% as long as you complete the assignment by the deadline. The lab handout is in each week, and you want to print that out and complete that. You'll notice in the labs handout, there's links to virtual labs that are in the McGraw-Hill Connect, in the McGraw-Hill Connect materials. And so just follow along that lab handout, answering questions and doing the virtual labs. And there's some practice. I give you a good introduction on how to do that. Each lab is worth 15 points. Most of those points are sometimes just virtual labs, but sometimes I also have lab quizzes, and lab quizzes are given through Brightspace. When you take a lab quiz, it's almost always questions right off of your lab handout. So it's just one way that I can make sure that you've completed the lab handout and gotten answers that were thoughtful. Okay. The lecture exams and the final exam will all be proctored. It is not open book. It's, you don't get to use any other materials. You have to actually study and remember things. And they're proctored through a program called Respondus. And as we get closer to the first test, I'll give you a practice for Respondus. But to use Respondus, you're going to need a, a computer with a webcam and a microphone. And if your computer doesn't have that, you can go buy one. Last time I checked, you can get them around $30 at, a place like Best Buy or on Amazon or whatever. If you miss exams, quizzes, or have any late assignments, I give you up to a week more to complete them. But after the due date, up till the week late, you can only get 50% of the points. So an assignment worth 10 points that is due on Sunday is you have till the next Sunday to do it if you want to get maximum of 5 points. So check that out. I do take late assignments, but they have to be in within a week, and you can only get up to 50% of the points. Almost all the materials for the week are due by 11:59 p.m. on the Sunday. I try to have everything posted and available to you on Friday. So Friday, for example, week 1, the Friday is before the semester starts. And so you can start doing your work on that Friday. You have the weekend, the full week, and then, or all the weekdays. And then the next weekend, the assignments are due at Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Try not to wait to the last minute. There's a lot of work to do. This class has 5 hours a week for a live class just sitting in class. So that doesn't include any work you would do outside of class. So if you wait all to do everything on Sunday, and your computer doesn't work, or something comes up, or you don't understand something, you don't have much time to make up. So try to schedule your work throughout the week and have everything done at the latest by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. Just some notes on organization. This is what I've seen that works out for people and keeps them on track. And then when you go to study, you have everything right there in your notebook. If you withdraw from the class, it's your responsibility to submit a drop, and you do that through MyCCC, and it has some details here. A grade W will be assigned if you've withdrawn by the end of week 9. If it's after week 9, you're going to be assigned the grade you earned. You can't get a W. The course grades are listed, or how I calculate the grades are all listed right here, and you can see all of this. And so you will see all of your points earned listed in your Brightspace gradebook. And the Brightspace, in fact, all of our Brightspace materials are only in the lecture section of the class. Even the lab quiz grades will be in the lecture section of the class. So when you go to your Brightspace page, only use the lecture section for our course, and I won't be posting anything in lab. So you'll see, exam number 1, you got a 70. You can write it here to keep track of your grades, but it will also be in Brightspace. So you can know what your grade is at any moment. Here's how I calculate the final grades. And here's the class schedule. So you can see week 1, this week we're going to do scientific method, and it tells you what we're going to do in lab. And each week you can find that module on Brightspace. And then finally week 4, we're going to have exam number 1. So when we have an exam, it is on all the lecture material from the previous labs since the last exam. So exam 1 will cover lecture material from scientific method, chemistry, and cell structure and function. There might be things in lab that you did that we didn't do in lecture. Those will not be on exam 1, but a lot of what we do in lab reinforces the concepts that we do in lecture. So you can use your lectures, completed lecture study guides to review for this exam one, and certain parts of your lab handouts. So look down here, exam 2 is going to cover this lecture material from week 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And I'll make sure you're clear on that as we go through. But use this syllabus. It tells you where we are, what we're doing, when the exams are. Notice here, all of our assignments are due at the 11:59 p.m. at the end of the assigned week. So all this material is going to be due at 11:59 at the end of week 1. The only exception is down here. Your final exam is due on a Thursday at noon. And I will remind you of that multiple times. Okay. So there's the syllabus, a very important document. Please print it out, put it in your 3-ring binder, use it, and contact me if you have any questions. Take care.